Pass me the dart. Keep quiet. Pass me the dart. We have to pick what's the research team?
No, you only get to do that later. We've got to talk about these serious issues first.
Okay, fantastic. Berlusconi, you want to talk about Italy apparently. So the outlook, Italy's outlook has been downgraded. Yes.
Now, apparently the real reason that Italy got a downgrade is because Berlusconi got his penis stuck in a bottle which was stuck in a prostitute. So, you know, obviously this is bad for the country's outlook.
I was hoping you weren't going to take the sexual spin, but you have. Okay, so...
But I've decided to put my money where my mouth is with regard to the Europeans, and that is, you know, everybody's talking about systemic risk, about sovereign debt, and about, you know, knock-on effects for banks and insurers. So today in my New York personal account, I bought an ETF which is called EUFN, not ENUF, EUFN, which is an $8.5 million, so totally tiny and irrelevant financial ETF, which basically covers all of the major insurers and financials in Europe.
And how much money did you allocate to this?
A tiny amount, like $2,000. And the idea is that if this thing happens, like the bears say it's going to be, you know, sovereign debt restructuring, there's no way Greece can survive.
This is a vote of confidence, in other words.
This thing's going to go down, like, because of course they're the people that are exposed. But on the other hand, if in fact I'm right and this whole thing gets worked around, then we're going to make serious tin here, for sure. So I'm going to hold this thing for 15 years. And then we'll speak again. 15
years. So we could actually see a country defaulting in the interim and it could fall off a cliff. But Paul, in 15 years, I'm sure we'll make a bit of money.
Excellent.
Maybe you'll make your money back in 15 years, $2,000.
Well, I think it's trading low now. So everybody's got the negative view. We shall see.
Okay, well, perhaps
we can check in on it every 3 months.
Absolutely. We definitely have to. Fantastic. Healthcare.
Yeah, I mean,
Adcock and Medi-Clinic. Adcock, of course, still trying to grapple with various products that have been taken off the market.
Yeah, so they've had a bit of a bad run. You know, there are 4 or 5 issues with Adcock, you know, and Jonathan Lowe was talking about them earlier. I think, you know, it's a good company with some great brands. I think Panado is single-handedly the most recognizable brand in the South African healthcare space. I use it for everything in my family. The point, though, is they battled with the Baxter thing, which, you know, is their critical care business. That's going back to Baxter. There's issues around ARVs. There's issues around the Supplement Pro thing. So issues. But I like healthcare a lot. I think the figure you got to decide is where to be invested, because the other one, of course, out today is Medi-Clinic. Yeah. So interesting results. And like
that's more bed space, in a sense. I mean, Adcock's got the...
Yeah, so that's like a grudge purchase, because people like taking pills, but they definitely don't like going to the doctor, and they definitely don't like going to hospital. But as you say, I mean, there's big margin in that. But I'm not quite sure why the South African hospital groups felt it necessary to go and buy these foreign businesses. So if you know, you talk about
operating in Switzerland and of course Middle East.
Yeah, well, and then obviously Netcare is the one I'm referring to as well, with the big holdings in the UK. So you can see big revenues from those operations.
But it doesn't only go for the medical companies; it goes for you know, the food companies. You know, famous brands is in the UK. We know that Spurs in the UK. Yeah. We've got other companies, Investec in the UK as well. We've had so many. I mean,
so the theme there, I guess, is internationalization. In other words, how do South African companies do when they take their business globally? And sometimes it's a critical transition moment for the company, and sometimes it's an enormous success, and often it's not. But more and more South African companies going into Africa, which looks like a much easier target. Right, I'm being told.
Speaking of target.
Yes.
Yes, I need to target.
Okay, so here's your dart.
Thank you very much.
Throw away.
Okay, great.
Ah. Beautiful throw.
Thank
Richemont, what a stock. Luxury goods.
This has not been rigged.
I mean, everybody wants to know how to get a piece of the China action, and the results there recently showed that that's one of the most exciting ways to invest in the China thing, because that's where they're seeing massive growth, because in China...
It sales up 33%, I think it was out.
Yeah, and it used to be a totally negative or negligible contribution to Richemont's profits. It's now more and more important. So that's Asia, excluding Japan, and, you know, they're opening stores there, and everybody in China wants to have a, you know, Cartier wristwatch to show you've really arrived. So sales are through the roof. Apparently they're going to have to employ another like 2,000 Oompa Loompas in Switzerland. They're the little green guys that actually make the wristwatches that get sold around the world.
Is that the joke for the day?
No, my joke of the day was going to be that the reason the market doesn't like Medi-Clinic is they've got a lousy share code, MDC. I mean, everybody knows that ZANU PF is a much better share code that's going to stay strong for the next, you know, like 50 years. MDC, I mean, really.